Run it up, then run it back. Run it up, then run it back. Run it up, run it back.
Good morning. It is Thursday. Oh, man. Used to be our Friday, but now it's just a Thursday here at Run It Back on FanDuel TV. Michelle Beadle, Shams, Charania, Chandler P, Lou Will on the end. How's everybody feeling?
Much better.
Amazing.
Much better, Michelle.
I like this. Shams has got a little change of scenery. That's going to help as well.
Amazing.
I'm a big fan of that. I was very wrong about a game that happened last night, guys. I guaranteed the Clippers were not going to lose against the Lakers, and I felt pretty good about it for most of this game. No Paul George. Didn't matter anyways. Lakers from 21 down in the fourth quarter comeback, beating the Clippers 116-112. LeBron James had 19 of his 34 points in the fourth quarter. It was pretty remarkable, actually. AD with 20 and 12, Kawhi with 26, 7, 6 assists. But guys, this is one of those crazy reminders of LeBron James. He's still very much here. Chandler, what'd you think? More about Lakers winning, Clippers losing?
I mean, you could go either way. I think the Clippers having a letdown like this in the fourth quarter, being a contender that they are, I think that's worrisome. But at the end of the day, it's one game. No Paul George, no Zubats. But this was unbelievable. I mean, watching this game, it was insane. The fact that LeBron can still do what he did last night and carry a team like this. And you can tell, you can see when he gets that hop in his step, when he gets that rhythm, when he starts doing a little step back left, he goes almost unconscious. He goes numb, and he had that look, he had that feel to him last night. He assisted on 11 of their last 13 baskets, knocking down 7 threes. He really was unbelievable, and this was a performance that a 39-year-old man just should not do. So I think you could go either way with that. I think it's definitely a bad let up of the Clippers, but you can't take the credit away from the Lakers. What LeBron did in that fourth quarter, the fact they didn't hang their head, they didn't pack it in against their city rival. It's huge. And now they've won 3 of 4. And now they've won the 3 of 4 of the season series. They look like they're getting on the right path. They're rising in the rankings, and this was just an overall great win and an unbelievable performance by LeBron.
He had a superpower, Lou. Superpower in the fourth. Did you see it?
Yeah, I saw it, but, to piggyback off of what Chandler said, I thought this was more about the Clippers losing. There was a team, they had 66 points at halftime. They were rolling, and I think they allowed their offense to determine whether they were going to play defense or not. LeBron had a huge fourth quarter, but as you can tell in those clips, no pressure was being put on him. He was literally walking the ball up the court, shooting three-pointers and doing what he wanted to do. It just felt like they took the foot off the gas and allowed him to do too many things, and when you have a 21-point lead, it's kind of natural for you to kind of let up a little bit and lose some of your edge. And I felt like once it starts snowballing, that's a time for your leaders to step up and kind of put that fire out, and nobody stepped up and did it, and LeBron was just having his way.
Shams, talk to me. Your biggest takeaway from what you saw last night.
It's really an extension of what we've already seen, is that, like, D'Angelo Russell, the role he had playing down the stretch, we know LeBron James was making threes left and right, but D'Angelo Russell, he's been inserted in that starting lineup in mid-January. They've gone 13-7 with him in the starting lineup. You can see the chemistry that he has with Austin Reeves in the lineup. It's only benefited them since Darvin Ham went back to what worked last year in the backcourt. I mean, look at his numbers: 22 points a game, 7 assists, 46% from three-point range. If this is the D'Angelo Russell the Lakers are going to get production-wise for the rest of the season, that's better than what they had last year. And I think you could just see the mode that he's been in ever since he was benched in December. He's brought a different level of aggressiveness. So I think that's only good news for them. And you saw down the stretch, Darvin Ham, the Lakers, they were attacking mismatches as well. They were picking the Clippers apart. Spencer Dinwiddie even came off the bench, 7.6 assists in about 19 minutes. So this is a team that's starting to find itself, and a lot of it is because they went back to what worked last year, and they have the stability now with D'Angelo Russell and Austin Reeves in the backcourt.
Yeah, I want to talk some more about that, and I do want to get back to this whole idea of being in the zone, because I want to know if Chandler and Lou have ever felt that. But just since we're talking about where the Lakers were and where they are and D'Angelo Russell and all that, and I know it's one game, but from what you could see, Chandler, is there enough here to get out of some 7-game series?
I mean, sure, they could get a favorable matchup, and I don't want to discredit Oklahoma City or discredit Minnesota Timberwolves, but yeah, those are two inexperienced teams that I would, if I'm the Lakers, I would love to play in the first round and have that matchup. Now, do I expect, LeBron to play 37 minutes a game, a team high like he did last night, and go on runs like this? To do that 4 times is tough. This was an unbelievable performance. This was a great win for the Lakers. But again, does this make it enough for them to all of a sudden, advance in the playoffs? I guess it's possible, and I would rather those two matchups than to face the Clippers. Which, by the way, it's crazy that the Lakers and Clippers have never played in the playoffs. That would be fun. But yeah, I think if they get a good matchup, and it's not the Clippers, the Nuggets, even the Suns are more dangerous. Yeah, I think they can go in there, and I think they could make it a very difficult series for Minnesota and for Oklahoma. But it's just one game at the end of the day with really a team, the Clippers, that weren't full strength with their starting center and Paul George out.
Lou.
What?
Oh, God. What do you think there's more there? Because here's the deal. The Clippers are the better team. And obviously you don't have Paul George, but they've gone 3-5 in their last 8. And you have been talking Clippers for pretty much the entire season. So a game like last night, do we throw it away, or is there a bigger concern here?
It could be a bigger concern because, like I said, when you look at the landscape of the Western Conference, it's so many teams that can play well, and seeding is going to be extremely important because it's going to come down to matchups. And like Chandler just said, you got to find you a favorable matchup. You got to find you a team that you feel like you can get past to start getting that momentum going to try to get yourself to the Western Conference Finals and on to the finals. And right now, this team's not playing its best basketball. Again, we've always said that the Clippers they're going to be a team that we're going to have to rate fully healthy and at full strength. And with Paul George out, with Zubac out, that's going to affect them a lot, and it shows in the record with some guys in and out of the lineup, and they're just not playing their best basketball. But it'll be interesting to see what they do once Paul gets back in that lineup, once Zubac get back in that lineup, and if they can go on a run and create some momentum going into the postseason.
They seem to have a strategy specific to James Harden, Chandler. When you see them playing him the way they did, it just seems like everyone should do that. But will that be a concern for the Clippers? How do they get around that?
Well, this has happened to his whole career. They did this to him in Oklahoma City. They did this to him in Houston. At the end of the day, he's got to sit down. He's got to defend. They've got to come up with schemes where they do things like this, where they kind of, blitz a pick and roll, or just go and double whoever's the hot hand. But yeah, it's an onus on James Harden. He's going to have to sit down. They have a great defensive team outside of him. Really, he's not the best one-on-one defender, but he's got to be better because just like Luka, just like Jalen Brunson, these guys are very talented offensive players. Teams are going to pick on these guys. So when it comes to a series and everything slows down, it's in the half-court offense. This is going to happen damn near every possession. But again, James is used to this. This is what's happened to him his entire career. He's got great wing defenders next to him with Kawhi and Paul George. He's got a good rim protector in Zubac. So he's got the assets around him to be an efficient defender. But things like last night, this is going to continue to happen, especially now the next team that they play, they're going to watch this film and they're going to do it. And the team after them is going to do that. They found almost a recipe to succeed against this team. But again, this was a nut. This was nuts. I think they went on a 29-8 run in 7 minutes. They won the fourth quarter 39-16. This isn't usual for the Clippers, but James Harden does have to be better defensively. But again, that's been his whole career.
Have you had a zone? Have you been in the zone like that? Like, Lou, you first. Is there a game that you remember? Maybe it wasn't a very important game, but you were just in a different place.
Yeah, I've had a bunch of them, but, off the top of my head, it'll probably be playoffs. It is what it is. I'm a bucket. But last time we played the Golden State Warriors in the playoffs, we were down 30, I want to say 32, 34, somewhere in there. And we walked that down on the back of my scoring. And that was one of those games I just felt like I couldn't be stopped. It didn't matter who guarded me. I just made plays and went out there and dominated and ended up getting a big win in the playoffs.
That's got to be a crazy feeling. Chandler, do you have one that you remember?
I had 10 threes and a half, which is still like an out-of-body experience. It's still an NBA record, which It felt like I could go like this. I could go
Rag
like
on
this.
him, CP.
Yeah.
I could go like this, and it was going in. You know what I mean? It was unbelievable. You have this feeling where you almost get numb, and your confidence is insane, and you just feel like everything you throw up is going in. Half of those shots were bad shots, but once you get in that rhythm, you just get hot, and no one can stop you. It doesn't matter where you are on the court. It doesn't matter if you're getting double, triple team, 35 feet, whatever. You can't miss. And it's an unbelievable. You get goosebumps. It's unbelievable. That only happened to me. That only happened to me once. Lou had a bunch.
He's like, yes, I've had numerous ones. My favorite one, no.
Matter of
Lou,
fact,
I'm starting with. By the way, we didn't talk about the new logo because we know obviously the new arena. We've talked a little bit about it with the Clippers are going to be happy. Here's the new logo that was unveiled earlier. Lou, obviously we have to start with you. What are your thoughts here?
What is that?
I'm not in love with it.
Is it a ship?
I gotta be honest. It looks like a cruise ship. I'm not in love with it.
Is it a Clipper, like a ship? Is that what it is? God, does anybody know? Because it does look like a cruise ship.
You know what? I like the jerseys.
I mean,
I liked like the photo shoot they did with the jerseys with like the simple Clippers writing and that font. But this, I don't even know what that is.
yeah.
They should have double checked with Lou on this.
I'm not sure what this is. But I was a part of these meetings, but I don't recall seeing this.
This was like a last minute
I'm not in love
entry.
with it. I'm sure they're trying to create an identity for themselves and kind of get away from the classic Clippers logo and start fresh. But I don't know. I'm sure they have alternates as well, so we'll see.
I don't love it.
I like the font.
I don't know. I feel like when I look at a logo, I should know what it is. You know what I mean? I don't love it.
It's like a Clipper ship. Isn't that what a Clipper is? Am I stupid?
Hey.
Are we all stupid? Anybody in the
Chandler,
control room, do you know
Beadle
what this
closed
is?
one of her eyes to see if it changed. She did this.
I'm like trying to see if it's. We think it's I'm going to go with Clipper. Clipper ship. Common phrase that every kid uses
It
these
looks
days.
like a
But
ship.
yes,
It looks like a cruise ship.
It is. It's like a ship. The font is good. I'll stay positive. The font is nice. Okay. Moving on. And by the way, how many people don't know that a Clipper is a ship? I guarantee you it's more than we think. Kings, Nuggets, 4 straight for Denver since the All-Star break. They win this one pretty easily. Jamal Murray had 32. He was 13 of 15. Jokic, of course, a triple-double, his 19th on the season. Again, we sort of joked yesterday that the Nuggets are just chilling, Lou. And this seems to be another argument for that case, that they are the team to beat. I know so much is said about Boston. We almost ignored Denver, but where do you put them in the scale of things?
Yeah, it's go time. They're right there in the mix. I think they're starting to ready themselves up for the next level of the season. Jamal Murray is doing the heavy lifting when it comes to scoring the basketball, and it looks like the Joker. He's the guy that's facilitating and doing all the dirty work and making sure everything is being ran smoothly. This process, it works for this team, and they're starting to show it. You know, I'm really excited about. I hate to keep skipping over the last 20 or so games, but
it's all right.
I'm really excited to see what these playoffs bring because you got a lot of really good basketball, and as you could tell, certain teams are starting to fall, certain teams are starting to find their rhythm. And you got teams that are absolutely rolling right now. And so this is going to get interesting. But Denver is doing its thing. And I like the balance that they have with their 2 stars carrying the majority of the workload.
It's okay to fast forward to the playoffs. I keep doing it in my mind, Chandler. But again, are we skipping over Denver when we talk about Boston?
It's funny because they're not. It's funny because they're 3rd in the Western Conference. I think if anything, we're skipping over Oklahoma City and we're skipping over Minnesota. This is because we haven't seen it. It's because we don't trust it. Oklahoma City's young and Minnesota hasn't won big like that. And you know what I mean? So we're sleeping on the Nuggets because they are the defending champs. They do have the best player in the NBA. They do have a healthy Jamal Murray right now. And their role players, they're elite at their role. It's really Aaron Gordon, KCP, Porter, like these guys know their role. They're consistent. They play the same way every single night. Their bench, honestly, has been a little letdown to me. I thought Peyton Watson, I thought Christian Brown, I thought these guys would kind of step up a little bit more. But it's like the Celtics. Their starting 5 is so good. Their top guys are so consistent and so elite that they almost don't even need their bench 90% of the time. So I think they're definitely the team to beat. I mean, especially with the Clippers meltdown last night, but I still love the Clippers. I still love the Nuggets. And I still love the Phoenix Suns. To me, it's those three teams. I trust them the most. They have the most firepower offensively. They can sit down and defend when they need to. And those three I trust the most. But yeah, if you look at the Western Conference right now, it's hard to not take the Nuggets. They got the best player in the NBA, and they play through him, and they're hard to not take.
And there it is. That's what I want to talk a little bit. Jokic right now averaging 24 on 67% shooting, 16 rebounds, 14 assists in the 4 games since we got back from the break. We haven't really talked MVP. Once Joel Embiid went out, it felt sort of like a dead topic, at least for the time being. But are we back to thinking Jokic is about to get his third here, Chandler?
Yeah, he probably is. I don't think SGA it's either him or SGA, and I think it's Jokic just lose. What's crazy is have you ever seen a guy take 9 shots and impact the game like he did last night? Like it's ridiculous. The guy didn't even play good. He had 14, 14, and 11. We were getting numb to his greatness. It's every single night. Some nights are louder than others, and the stat lines are always just disgusting. But it's crazy because I'm seeing this. I'm like, he didn't even play good. He took 9 shots. How do you affect the game this much? So yeah, I think it's nuts to think that he's going to get the third MVP. And now, I mean, not that he wasn't before, but we're talking about arguably one of the greatest bigs of all time. Top what? I don't know, top 2, top 3, top 5. The guy's unbelievable, and he keeps doing it. We've never seen a guy his size play with his brilliance, with his touch, with his feel. And he does it every single night, and they win games. So he's got my vote.
I do think we get numb a lot of the times, Lou. Like I've gotten where I'm more entertained by him lately on the silly things he does off the court. Like he's showing his personality more. He's got the commercials and all that. But are we a little bit numb to just what he actually does when he's playing?
Yeah, and I think that hurts him. I think that hurts him when it comes to the MVP conversation. When you got guys like Luka, you got guys like the Joker that does these things consistently, an Embiid that does these things consistently, and then you have somebody new and fresh that comes in and shocks the world, like a SGA that takes a team from not being in the playoffs to a 2nd seed or have an opportunity at the 1 seed, and that's based off of his play, 80% of it, even though they have a lot of guys that can really play basketball on Oklahoma City Thunder. Obviously, SGA is the head of that snake, and so I'm still going to stay put with SGA as my MVP, but I wouldn't be surprised if Joker's right there in the mix as well. You know, he's also one of those guys that his team really needs in order for them to be successful. But like you mentioned, we do kind of get numb to these things, as special as these stats are. It's like, it's just another night in the office for him. But with SGA, it's something different. It's something fresh, and I think that affects voters.
Shams, let's talk a little Kings here because obviously, didn't do much, but they seem to be okay. The last few games, they're starting to fall behind a little bit. What is their approach moving forward?
I mean, this season just feels different. Record-wise, they're pretty similar to where they were last year, but they're not a home court team right now. They're not a team that's a shoo-in for the playoffs. They're in the play-in tournament, even though they have a similar record. I think that speaks to the Western Conference, but that's the tenor of this season for the Kings. And they knew kind of going into the year that they would be aggressive when there would be opportunities. And they were essentially the runner-ups for Pascal Siakam. They had a lot of conversations with Toronto. Obviously, he ended up in Indiana. And Pascal Siakam, a lot of it was determined by him. He was going to be a free agent. He's going to be a free agent this offseason. And he gave Indiana a sense of confidence that he was going to re-sign there potentially and give them an opportunity to re-sign there. Whereas with the Kings, that similar confidence just was not given, which is why the Kings made an offer for Siakam. But that offer, it was basically what they were comfortable doing while rolling the dice on a guy that could be a rental. So the Kings have been opportunistic. They'll continue to be. They have De'Aaron Fox, Domantas Sabonis. They have multiple draft picks they can trade. They have assets that they can move, tradable contracts. So going to this summer, I think definitely have to keep an eye on the Kings. But we'll see how they try to turn this around over the next, month and a half of the season.
I mean, that's the thing. Is like we can look ahead to the summer, and we just talked about the Kings the other day, and specifically Sabonis and how they seem to be highly underrated, but they now have lost 2 straight, and they fall into that 8th spot, Lou. And we're going to be watching the Warriors and the Lakers just simply because they are trusted more in these moments. Do you see a world in which the Kings fall out and either one of those teams pass them up?
I think one of them catch them. I don't see a world where both do. Obviously, the Lakers are playing good basketball. The Warriors are playing good basketball. But it's going to be tough for the Sacramento Kings to lose a 2.5 game lead and slide, all the way to a 9 or a 10 spot and to a 10 and allow the Lakers and the Golden State Warriors to get in there. But they're leaking a little bit. They got to tighten up on the defensive end. I think that's what's missing with this group. Last year, they were a defensive-minded team. They scored a lot of points that they created off of turnovers and were able to get out and play run. Now they're getting forced to play a lot of half-court basketball, and they haven't been as successful, and that comes off the back of them not being able to get stops and sit down and play defense. So I don't see both of those teams passing them, but if I'm a betting man, I got one of them getting them.
One. We got one, Chandler. Can I hear two?
I think they're a better team than both of those teams, but it's just crazy. They're half games back of the Suns and the Pelicans. So as easy as they could fall, they could be in the play-in. They can also make this push here to not and be in that 5th, 6th seed, which it's still going to be a tough out. No matter who, this is a team that no matter who they match up with in the first round, it's going to be a dog fight. But I think they're a better team than the Lakers. I think they're a better team than the Warriors. I think they still stay ahead of them in the standings. But it's crazy how stacked, how loaded the Western Conference is. And there's still plenty of time. There's still 20, 25 games left. A lot can change, especially when the seedings like this are so close and they're so jumbled up. A lot could change, but I do think that they are in better position than the Warriors. I think they're in the better position than the Lakers. I think they're in better position than the Mavericks. I think, but I think they know that they're a couple pieces away still from being a real contender.
These last 20-something games, I don't care, Lou. I'm fast forwarding, but they're going to be a heck of a fun time. We had another game, Pelicans, Pacers last night. Pacers hanging on for this one. 123-114. Pascal Siakam had 24 and 11. Tyrese Halliburton, 17-13. You got the combo of Ingram, Zion, and CJ. They combined for 76. But the Pacers have now won 7 of their last 10, and they are 7th in the East. But virtual tie with the Heat and Sixers for fifth. It's a jumbled mess down there. They need to get out of the play-in, Chandler. Will they?
It's tough. It's tough because I'm looking at these standings right now. I think they're gonna pass Philly. I think that's. Okay. I think they're gonna do that. And now the way Miami's playing, I don't think they catch them. I think Miami's one of the hottest teams right now. This is usually when they put their foot on the gas and they kind of get healthy and they find ways to be really good in the postseason. So sure, can they get to that 6th seed and not get in the play-in? Yeah, I think that's huge. But I also think even if they don't, I think they're better than those other 3 teams that they'd have to match up with Orlando, Chicago, and Atlanta. So I think they're very similar to the Sacramento. It's like they have a stud in Halliburton. They made a move here at the deadline. They definitely got better, but they're kind of right there in the middle where they're not really a contender. I can't see them beating, Boston and Milwaukee in a series. I think they'd much rather play Cleveland, obviously, than those 2 teams, but it's all going to come down to matchups. It's all going to come down to the last week of the season of how close everything is. And I think when you have a guy like Tyrese Halliburton, you have a chance to win any game, and his growth and development has been unbelievable. But same as Sacramento, do they really have enough to beat one of these elite teams, to beat a Boston Celtics in a series? I don't see it.
We got to find the Halliburton outfit from last night because I don't know where he's getting these coats. But it's ridiculous.
We didn't talk about his All-Star Weekend outfit either. It was outrageous.
We should do an entire episode of Tyrese Halliburton style because he had a really cool wavy Louis Vuitton thing last night, and then the coat was just. And I say all that.
I just really hope
you hate
that
it.
he's dressing himself and he's not paying somebody to dress him. I just really hope because this is highway robbery.
That might be Shams, that's the number one question we need answered about Tyrese Halliburton. Is he, in fact, paying a stylist? That's what we want to know. On the basketball side of things, though, Lou, where would you rank a Halliburton-Siakam duo in this league? In the East, specifically.
Man, off the top of my head, we got Tatum Brown.
I love it.
We got Brunson, Randall when they're healthy. Man, who am I missing? Am I missing some obvious ones? Let me get a cheat sheet really quick.
Do you like a Miami Heat duo
Milwaukee,
better?
obviously.
Yeah.
Dame and Giannis.
Yeah, we got Dame, Giannis. They're top 5, but they're closer to 4 and 5 than top 3. So,
All right.
but I really like these guys. I think they just got to put more work in. They're right there, like Chandler mentioned on the West. You know, they're tied. They're in a 3-way tie from 5, 6, and 7. I'm wondering if they got the tiebreaker on Miami, because it looks like if they win a game, they can go as high as 5. If they go on a 1 or 2 game winning streak and one of those two teams lose. And so they're right there in the mix. And a lot of that is based on these 2 guys. It looks like Siakam is getting more and more comfortable playing with him. He's starting to find his stride with the Indiana Pacers group. And so do I have them winning the first round? Not where they are. So they're going to have to get in the mix and get themselves an opportunity.
They got 22 games left. Plenty of time. Pelicans, though, kind of hard to tell what's going on there. They've lost 3 of their last 4, which happened to all be against East teams. And they had won 8 of their last 9 before that. So the inconsistency, and I know there are guys that kind of come in and out of the lineup, Chandler, but is there something else going on here?
Well, it's all about the health of Zion, right? Is he going to play? Is he going to play high minutes? And is he going to be available? When you look at this big 3, they're very solid. Offensively, they can score the ball inside out. This is a team last year that we're talking about as a possible contender, how they had so many different guys that could defend and shoot the basketball, and they were a deep team. And I still think they have that in them. And by the way, they're having a solid year. I mean, they're ahead of the Warriors, Lakers, the Mavs, and the Kings. Like I wouldn't expect that in the preseason. So I think they're fine. It's all going to come down to Zion. He's their everything, and it's been kind of his MO for his entire career. Is he going to play? And when he goes and has a game like last night and 23 to 26 points, and he dominates the glass and he makes these high-flying electric plays, they're a fun team. And I love the rookie Jordan Hawkins. I love Murphy. I love Herb Jones. They also have all these assets that are young and versatile and they can play. So when you have that offensive firepower like these 3 guys, and you can sit down and defend, and you can go deep with your bench, they have all the assets. They just haven't really put it together yet because of so many injuries and guys in and out of the lineup. But this is a team that we were big on last year. And again, the Western Conference is so loaded that unless you really made a jump and unless you're an elite team, you kind of just get caught up in the scrum.
We've got some breaking news. The image has been located. I can now share with you the outfit that Tyrese Halliburton unleashed onto the world last night. Look closely, because there are feathered decors mid-sleeve and bottom of the coat. And the briefcase is wavy. I don't know if you could see that, which is kind of cool. But what's happening here, guys?
What's in the briefcase?
Ain't it?
What's in
My
the
boy.
briefcase? Money,
What's in the briefcase, Lou?
cash.
Going to a basketball game.
like you literally you go into a game, everything that you need is already in your locker. What the hell is in that briefcase?
What's
And how
that
many of these jackets do you have with these fur sleeves and the fur bottoms?
Dude.
You did a
this coat
blue
is-
one. I've seen a red one. Now you got an
Yep.
all black one. Who robbed you? Who brought this jacket to you and you said, "Let me get every color you got"? Somebody tell Halliburton this
Not
ain't
cheap.
it. We not feeling it.
All right, Shams, 2 questions you got to get answered now. Does he have
I'm
a
on it.
stylist?
I'm on
And
it.
what's in the
Thanks.
briefcase?
I'm on it.
But a briefcase
I'm on
is
it.
cool. I've never seen a briefcase with sort of a wavy vibe to it. So I don't hate it. Anyways.
Briefcase
Okay,
is
I'm glad
fire.
we could share that. Yeah, the briefcase is kind of cool, actually. It's time to feel a little bit
I'm
older.
gonna get to the
than
bottom
you
of this,
probably
Michelle.
want.
I'm getting to the
Shams,
bottom of this.
I don't even have a doubt. I wait
We
your
need
tweets.
it. We gotta know,
Luka,
Sean.
look at this, a 30-point triple-double. He's only 25. On his birthday, he got this one. First player to have a 30-point triple-double on the big day, passing LeBron for 3rd all-time in 30-point triple-doubles, 39 in only 381 games. First of all, it blows my mind he's only 25, but he scored the 3rd most points at the time of the birthday, 7 most assists, and the most threes. Most impressive part of his career so far, though, for you, Chandler, is what?
It's everything. The fact that he's only just turned 25 years old, and guys like Dirk, guys like J. Kidd, they're putting him in this category with greatness already without winning a championship. It's unbelievable how good he's been. The guy's averaging 35, 10, and 9. And you're telling me that's not like the MVP of the season? Like, it's ridiculous what he can do. Just shows you how talented, how good the league is. But it's sublime to watch. The guy's unbelievable. If Jokic didn't exist, we'd be talking about this guy like the greatest thing since sliced bread. It's unbelievable how it doesn't matter big, small, fast, slow, strong, weak. You can't speed this guy up. So no matter who guards him, then he's seen every scheme. He's seen every blitz in a pick and roll. He's seen every double and triple team, and you still can't stop him. It's unbelievable what he's done in such a short period of time. He's going to be great for the foreseeable future. And it truly is remarkable the things he does with the basketball. I don't want to take him for granted either, because he's a special talent. Again, looking at these stats, if you just put these stats up any other season, it's MVP, it's all NBA, it's ridiculous, and he's not going to win again this year with these numbers, which is just insane to me.
We're spoiled. We have too many good players, but now that he's 25, he's out of that category, because the category, Lou, I ask you, is who now is the best player in the NBA under 25, and you've got so many choices. Just throwing names out there, obviously Wemby, but Ant, Ja, Zion, Chet, who you got?
It's Luka's birthday, so outside of Luka, it's still Ja Morant world.
Okay.
Once he gets back healthy, and get flowing, you see the impact that he can have on an entire city, organization, and just his individual team. When he's out of that lineup, they have a completely different outlook on the season. And once he gets back in, I think he's going to be a powerhouse. He's going to put Memphis right back in the mix of being one of the top teams in the league. And that's how good he is. And that's the impact that he has on everything going on around him. So I still like Ja Morant in this position.
What about you, Chandler?
I mean, yeah, people are going to forget quickly how good Ja Morant is and how explosive and how fun he is to watch. So he's unbelievable. I think SGA is 25, so I guess he doesn't count, but it's Anthony Edwards to me. I've said it all season long. He's my favorite player. He defends. He's two-way. He can do it all. He can score. He's fun to watch. I think he's hilarious. And I think he's an absolute star. But you can't go wrong either way here. But since you got to be under 20, if 25 or under, I'm taking SGA. But those Ja and it's those two. But Wemby's going to be there real soon.
I mean, what? You know what? It's Thursday. I don't have it in me to argue with you guys on a Thursday. I'm peaceful today. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Sham Scoops and Paul Pierce is talking again. This time about the greatest athlete when we come back.
Oh, boy.
Run it up, the running back, yeah. Run it up, run it back, run it up, run it back.
Sham Scoops time. Yesterday we had some Drew Holiday USA basketball news. We have more news on who's going to Paris.
So Drew Holiday reported yesterday he's expected to be on that Team USA Paris Olympic team for this upcoming Summer Olympics. Well, I'm told the skeletons of a team have been formed. LeBron James, Stephen Curry, Kevin Durant, Joel Embiid, Jason Tatum, Devin Booker, and Drew Holiday. That's 7 of 12 potential players on that team. Of course, this is barring injury, barring anything unforeseen, barring a player potentially dropping out here. This is not the final roster yet. Team USA hopes to announce their final 12-man roster at some point in the playoffs, from what I'm told. But those are the 7 players right now that are making up the skeleton of this team as part of the discussions and planning as of right now. Anthony Edwards, Tyrese Halliburton, Bam Adebayo, and Anthony Davis. Those 4 are also being strongly considered for roster spots. They have a player pool of over 40 players that Grant Hill and Team USA have been sifting through.
Okay, it's a pretty decent roster so far. Obviously, more to go. Chandler, what do you think? Are we going to crush or not?
Gold medal. Book it. I don't care who the other 5 guys are. Those 7 right there will win a gold medal. You're the best league. You're the best players. You're the best goddamn country. We're winning a gold medal, and it's not even going to be
Lord.
You will never see me. You will never catch me hating on Team USA in the Olympics. We're winning the gold this year, no doubt.
Do you think that FIBA thing, not winning, made everybody go, hold up? We need to be winning these tournaments?
It's like bringing your JV team to no, it was not our team. It's not our best players. These 7 here, if they lose, I'll apologize. But they're not
No,
losing.
no. If they lose, you need to do more than we need like a tattoo or something. Something bad has to happen.
Fine.
Okay,
Whoever
good.
wins, I'll get a Spain or France, whatever tattoo, because these cats are not losing.
Oh my God, this is happening? Okay, yes. No, I root for all of this. Fine, Lou.
We got this on the record now, Michelle. You bullied Chandler into saying it on air.
I like these guys.
Hey, if you want to wave your flag, but you better put something behind it.
Waving it. Right to
I
the
like
goal.
this 7. I like where we're starting right here.
All right.
I like where
So
we
give me
starting.
5.
I think we need a little. I think we need some size and we need some youth.
Okay.
I like to see some youth and a little bit more size. You know, we got Embiid. Other than that, you're gonna put KD and LeBron in a position they're gonna have to guard. You know, the jokers of the world and the Nurkic's and all these other overseas guys. Other than that, I want to see Ant-Man get an opportunity. I like to see Halliburton get an opportunity. Then it gets tricky for the youth because SGA is Canadian. I don't know how Embiid got in there, by the way. I thought he was like a proud
did the whole
African, but that's neither
process.
here nor there.
Yeah, he did the
Okay,
whole
there you
American
go.
citizen process. Yeah.
Hey, educate me. I don't want no trouble.
Give me Dame, give me Kawhi, like give me all the keep going. Like,
Yeah, there we go.
Keep going.
I don't know if you get Kawhi to go to. I don't know if
Paris?
you get Kawhi to go to Paris for 3 weeks. I don't see it happening.
What about an Anthony Davis? That's a big dude. We put Anthony Davis on the team. Okay.
Give me Anthony Davis.
I would like AD. I would like AD for this.
By the way,
give me Ant Davis. Give me Ant-Man.
That's
Kawhi on my wish
youth.
list, sure.
Yeah, I want Kawhi on the wish list. And also, if we get Halliburton in Paris for weeks on end, my goodness, the clothes are going to be, oui.
You know what? On second thought, we're taking Halliburton off the list
He likes fashion.
for jacket reasons only.
I love it so much, Shams. We will see you in the morning. Safe travels.
I got to get to some stuff, Michelle. I got to get to some stuff.
Yeah, you got a lot of questions.
Tyrese Halliburton stuff. I got to dig this up.
Go do it. We'll see you
Shams,
tomorrow.
figure out who's making that jacket because that is obviously a custom. See who's making that jacket.
Oh, for sure.
And fire them.
You guys, you're killing young, possibly American designers. Time now for another edition of Say What.
Gotta be better.
LeBron is probably the greatest athlete we've ever seen. Just athlete. We've never seen nobody play at this level, at this age. And yeah, you can say Brady, he played till he was 40 plus, but he didn't have to run up and down a court, jump. You still go out there and dunk, guard.
Well, that's a turn. Did not see that coming from Paul Pierce, but the greatest athlete ever. That's a big category, Lou. How you feeling about this one?
He can go in that conversation, but for me, when you talk about athlete, I always think about 2 sport guys. I always think about a Bo Jackson. I always think about a Deion Sanders, a guy that we rarely give flowers to that deserves them, a Charlie Ward. He won a Heisman and went on to have a successful NBA career. So when I think about greatest athlete, I think about guys who were able to transition over to another sport and still have success in both fields. And so LeBron is definitely in there, greatest athlete ever. He's in that conversation, but you start thinking about the Michael Phelps of the world. You start thinking about like the guys that I just mentioned. So many different people who's done
sports,
tremendous things in their fields. And so many things in their fields. But LeBron is definitely in there for me. But it sounded crazy coming from Paul Pierce because he's always hated on LeBron. So
that's why I was
thanks, Paul, for coming around.
It took me half of that whole soundbite just to understand what was happening right there. That threw me off a lot, Chandler. I'm good with the conversation. It's just greatest athlete ever is a ginormous conversation.
It's interesting because how do you look at like a Wayne Gretzky or Michael Phelps? Are they the greatest athletes? Like if you
what about
give
behind
them,
you got boxing.
Like Ali, Michael Jordan, I mean, Usain Bolt is the greatest Olympian. So like does that carry more weight? But to me, I like Bo Jackson. To me, the guy was an all-star in football and baseball. You know how insane that is. Can you imagine Jokic being like an all-star, like tight end on the Chiefs while he's on like the Nuggets? It's crazy. It's unheard of. So it's hard to look away from him. And like it's funny, Gretzky's my guy, but like that guy's the most athletic guy of all time.
The thing too is like how are we
He can't jump.
Yeah, like, but it's the same thing with LeBron. Give LeBron a golf club. Shouldn't he be really good at that if he's most? So like, it's how are you
Right.
viewing it? To me, it's LeBron. It's physical. It's fast. It's strong. But like also.
But
again,
that's why hockey has
like
an
put
argument.
LeBron on skates and put him on hockey. It's
That's
probably awful. So like,
Different skill set.
Yeah,
It'd probably be a great tight end. Other than that, it'll get tricky. It'll get tricky really fast with Brian. We put him on some skates. That'll be a sight.
I would love it if LeBron is secretly amazing at ice skating and we just don't know. Wouldn't that be great to find
Jackson
out?
was an all-star.
yeah.
He was an all-star in both. That is
Yeah.
insane. Like he's got
Yeah, I like the two-sport argument because I think it sort of knocks out a bunch of other people. Draymond Green also talking. He talks a lot. He named 4 non-Warriors he would go to battle with. Of course, the first one's LeBron. I didn't even need to tell you that. Ja, Jokic, and SGA. Chandler, those are the 4. How do you feel about this list?
Yeah, I mean, it's great. It's hard to argue. I love all 4 of those players. All 4 of those are elite. It's hard to not put like Kevin Durant or Luka instead of Ja right now, but it's all 4 of those guys are unbelievable, and that team throwing a Draymond is a championship. So it's hard to argue. Obviously, LeBron's his guy, Ja's his guy. I love that he respects Jokic because Jokic busts his ass every time they play, and SGA is an up and coming star. So I mean, there's so much talent in the league that this is hard to argue. I could pick 4 other ones and be just competitive with these guys, but you can't argue. These are pretty good picks.
I'm sure Miles Bridges is coming off the bench since he loves him so much. Coming off of that one. Lou, you're up. Shaq said in 4 or 5 years, when Steph and Katie are gone, the league should belong, he's back, to Tyrese Halliburton. Do you think Tyrese has just the overall package to be that guy?
He's in a conversation, but that was a hot take, Shaq. You know, when you're looking at you're gonna have a 31, 32-year-old Jason Tatum at that time. You're gonna have a 32-year-old Devin Booker. You're gonna have a veteran SGA. You're gonna have an Ant-Man. You're gonna have a Wemby that's now got his feet up under him and he's playing at a high level. So the good news is the NBA is in a great place. There's a lot of young, really good talent that's going to be able to carry us into a new generation of superstars. Tyrese Halliburton is going to be one of them. Is he going to be the guy? That remains to be seen. A lot of these guys are lumped up right now. Wins and championships are going to start separating guys. He's going to be in that conversation. I'll put him top 10. I don't know if he's going to be the guy until he proves us different.
His 24th birthday is
Isn't
today.
it crazy that this is a guy that was getting mocked by Wally Zerby? I call him a fake all-star, and now guys like Shaq are saying he's the face of the league in one season.
Funny how things
awesome.
turn, isn't it? Yeah.
Wally
I know.
Zerby.
It's, you know what it feels like? It feels like every cheesy movie where the ugly girl has like glasses and braces, then they take the glasses off and everyone's like, oh my God, she's hot. Like, it's just that simple. That's what this feels like. And
You
congratulations.
see not
Tyrese.
another team movie, Michelle?
Stop wearing those
Yeah, it's
jackets.
every single one, but that one is probably the worst about it. Chandler, Giannis said that being the face of the league does not mean that much to him. Do you believe him?
No, I think everyone. He's elite. He's a top 5 player. He is kind of the face of the league. So I think this is what he does, though. He puts things off like this. He cares about winning and championships. But yeah, I think every elite player wants to be the face. Jokic, as much as he acts like he doesn't care, he wants to be the face of the league. He is the face of the league, whether he likes it or not.
Face of my league. I love him so much. All right, we're going to take a quick break, come back with more Run It Back in a moment.
The run it back, yeah. Run it up, the run it back, run it back, run it up, run it back, yeah.
Oh, that man has a family. It's time. Gigi Jackson.
Oh, bing, bing. Oh, with a, oh, man. With a cherry on top.
Welcome back. This kid's making a little name for himself. He's had some big games.
He really has. I know it's been a dumpster fire in Memphis, but he's a silver lining on that one. How about some Dame Lillard?
Oh,
That's
my
not
God.
nice, is it? That's
That's what LeBron will look like on skates right there, y'all. That's what he'll look like out there with a hockey stick and skates.
No
I think it'd
drip
be awesome.
there, too. No contact.
Nope.
This is legitimately he just broke it.
Just straight up.
And he made the shot. He made the shot. If he didn't make the shot, you think
By the way, we
what?
didn't get to the Dame Lillard's lonely in Milwaukee stuff. We might do a whole show on that. Moses Moody.
Oh my dear.
Come here,
Damn it.
Moses.
Well,
Put
that's
him down,
fun
Moses.
too.
Look. Oh, that's my man, Shams. Damn it,
See?
Shamit.
Name it, sham it.
Damn it, sham it.
Oh, it's the getting up that hurts my heart.
It's
Pretty
also
awkward.
just
Yeah, because that's the
making the
rule,
shot,
Michelle.
making
You
the
got to get
shot.
up quick. You can't stay down.
You gotta get up. I mean, I personally would go the other way and pretend I died. Whatever, dude.
Look at Go Bear go. Look at
French
him.
on
Hey,
French.
Is anyone
is
impressed
this,
by that?
is this French on
Not
French
me.
crime?
It
French
is French
on
on French
French.
crime. Oh, French again.
Ay, yeah.
Oh yeah, they gotta be the Team France. Oh, Team France might be fun, Chandler.
That's why we need size. We need size.
It's gonna be kind of good. How about some Chet fun right here? Oh, on
my-
Shingun.
Oh, yeah, Chet.
Okay,
Rookie of the year.
that's a great slow mo. That's
The
lovely.
lob, the reverse lob poster is, you don't come across these often.
No, you don't. It's a rare item.
That's a little bit of everything. And it was an and one.
All right, DeRozan.
Oh, this.
This was nuts. This was nuts.
Okay.
Oh, I've seen him do this layup 100,000 times.
Damn it,
So
John
fun.
Wall.
This is slickest patented move. Yeah, this is his move.
It's so pretty. It looks choreographed. Like it's pretty.
Like Wayne Gretzky and Michael Phelps can't do that. I'm sorry. Like there's just no. That's an athlete. That's an athlete to me.
How about some Luka and Hurdle?
What just
I mean,
happened?
travel.
Hurdle's not going to
He
jump. We
traveled.
know
That's
this.
what happened. Look.
Come on.
What in the
Traveled
world?
his ass off.
Yeah, see. 1, 2, 3.
Well, it wasn't
4.
called Luke.
That is
So-
outrageous.
That's outrageous.
That's a check ball. Ball going the other way. Whole check. Ball going the
I
other
mean,
way.
Hurdle is looking
Hurdle
around.
closed out. Hurdle was so lost he closed out like this.
He was. He was like, what's happening? All right, Terrence Mann on AD. Boom. Boom. Okay.
Yeah, we like
on.
that, T-Man.
We like that.
Left.
Against a known shot blocker. No
We like
fear,
that.
T-Man. I love that.
That one's purdy. All right, quick break time.
was
Coming back,
big
wrapping things up on a
That was
Thursday.
Brock
Right back.
Purdy.
Stupid. We got less than a minute left here. Prop party time. Chandler, what do you got for tonight? Wizards, Lakers.
Jordan Poole under. He's been struggling like nobody's business. And I like the Lakers. I don't care coming off. They're not losing to them.
Well, shoot. All right, Lou. I feel like Lou's got the same.
No, I like Lakers money line. There's no way they lose this game. So I like the Lakers for a big old bag and how LeBron was shooting it last night in the fourth quarter to carry over. 2.5
Well,
threes.
I'm hoping Poole gives us a good video of anything, but I have Wizards just trying to make an attempt at keeping it under 9, but and then AD with the first basket. Let's go big or go home. Got Royce O'Neal tomorrow, y'all. Enjoy your Thursdays.
Run it up, then run it back. Run it back. Run it up, run it back. Run it up, then run it back.